Okay, so today we're going to talk about adjectives in Spanish. They're a little bit different than from in English, and I'll explain the differences as we go along. What is an adjective? An adjective describes a noun, which is a person, place, or a thing. So this can be a color, it could be a descriptive adjective of a person's characteristics like nice, honest, good, hardworking. It can also be a physical description like blonde, short, tall, fat, skinny, pretty, ugly, all of those things. So let's look at an example. We have this cute little boy with glasses and a book, and we would say that he's a serious student. In this example, serious would be the adjective, and the noun would be student. Or if we want to put it in a more complex sentence, we could say the cute boy, cute being an adjective, boy being a noun, is a serious student. Again, serious, an adjective, student, a noun. So in English, the adjective comes in front of the noun that it's describing. In Spanish, the case is a little bit different. It comes after the noun. So in Spanish, for the serious student, we would say el alumno serio. Notice how the adjective comes after. We could also say the cute boy is a serious student in Spanish as el chico guapo es un alumno serio. And again, the adjectives come after the noun. Chico guapo instead of guapo chico. Or alumno serio, not serio alumno like we would say in English. So when we talk about adjectives, one of the things that we need to keep in mind is that they change form. They go masculine or feminine depending on the noun that we're talking about. So on this slide we have two pictures of the world's tallest people, and on the left we have el hombre alto, the tall man. Or we could say el hombre alto no es bajo, the tall man is not short. And if you notice, the adjectives end in O. Generally, if a word ends in O, it's referring to masculine things, and if it ends in an A, it's feminine things. So if we're talking about the tallest woman, Sandy Allen, then we have to say la mujer alta, the tall woman, or la mujer alta no es baja, the tall woman is not short. Notice both adjectives ended in A. Adjectives in Spanish also have to match in number, so they change whether or not the noun is singular or plural. For example, Carlos Mencia, Carlos es cómico, he's funny. Él no es serio, he's not serious. Notice both the adjectives cómico and serio both end in O. Now if we wanted to talk about a group of comedians, like the Latin kings of comedy there, we would say los amigos son cómicos. The friends are funny. Los amigos cómicos no son serios. Notice that in the second set of sentences, the adjectives ended in OS, so we had to make them plural because we were talking about more than one comedian. It also changes for the feminine. We have Tina Fey here. Tina es cómica, ella no es seria. So since it's feminine, we change the adjective endings to an A. But what if we were talking about a group of female comedians, say Ellen DeGeneres and Rosie O'Donnell, then we have las amigas son cómicas. Or las amigas cómicas no son serias. The friends are funny. The funny friends are not serious. Notice again that they end in AS because we're talking about women, but OS when we're talking about men. So the singular masculine form of cómico would be cómico. Singular feminine form would be cómica. Cómica. Plural masculine would be cómicos. And feminine plural would be cómicas. Cómicas. So, many common adjectives end in O, like all the words on your vocabulary list that are adjectives, and these adjectives have 4 forms. I pointed those out on the last slide, but let's look at it again. Carlos is cómico, but Tina is cómica. The group of friends, los amigos son cómicos, and las amigas son cómicas. So there we have a chart with the 4 forms. If it's masculine singular, it's going to end in an O. Feminine singular, end in an A. Feminine plural, it's going to end in an O, S. And then if it's feminine plural, it's going to end in AS. So here we have a chart with a list of adjectives from your vocabulary sheet. All of your adjectives in this chapter end in O, so it means they have 4 forms. You have to be really careful and concentrate on how you use your adjectives in sentences. So we have tall, which is alto, alta, altos, altas. The opposite of tall being short, we would have bajo, baja, bajos, bajas. Now I'm not going to read through this whole list. You can take a moment to look at it, pause the video if you need to. But just remember that all of your adjectives have 4 forms. So when do you use the correct form? How do you know? Well, the correct form of the adjective depends on the noun that it modifies or that it's describing. You have to ask yourself, is the noun masculine or is it feminine? Is it singular or is it plural? So in the first example, we have Gabriela es una alumna ambiciosa. Gabriela is feminine, and since we're only talking about one girl, then, or one student in this case, alumna, then we have to use a singular feminine adjective, ambiciosa. So the noun, feminine singular, adjective, feminine singular also. In the next example, we have Zach es un muchacho guapo. Zach is a guy. We're only talking about one guy, muchacho, and he's handsome, so we have to say guapo. The noun muchacho is masculine singular, and the adjective has to be masculine singular also. Then we have ellas son amigas buenas. The girls are good friends. Amigas is a feminine plural noun. Buenas, then, the adjective, has to be feminine plural also. Ellos no son alumnos tímidos. Ellos no son alumnos tímidos. When we're talking about a group of people, we automatically go, and it's all boys or it's mixed, then we automatically go to the masculine form. So alumnos is the masculine plural noun for students. They're not shy. And then tímidos, the adjective, has to be masculine plural as well. So to review a little bit, an adjective describes a noun. In Spanish, it generally comes after the noun that it's describing, and it has to match the noun in gender, which is either masculine or feminine, and in number, so it has to match singular or plural. Hope this helps. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.